All right, so what you see here, quadcopter, quadcopter, quadcopter. None of these men built a drone. They bought the kit. This is a H configuration, that's a H configuration, this is an X configuration with 5x3 props, bi-blades, immersion RC, Mobius cameras. These gentlemen got me into FPV. Once again, this is history that the new people don't know. This next video that I'm about to show you is showing Sharpoo on the Adam Savage channel building what, let's see what Sharpoo calls it.
Hey, it's Norm from Tested. I'm here with Carlos, also known as Sharpoo.
Yep.
You guys might know him from his amazing quadcopter videos on YouTube. First person video, FPV quadcopter flying.
That's it.
So a couple weeks ago, I joined you guys.
So once again, DJI pilots, anybody that's new, we fly quadcopters. Grandfather of freestyle FPV right here, Sharpoo. This is a history lesson for people that keep telling me, oh, it's a drone. How is it a drone when you're in complete control of how the quadcopter flies, what it does, how it rolls, how it flips, how it yaws? That is not a drone. Drones don't fly like FPV pilots fly. I understand that FPV pilots can fly a drone. You can fly a camera drone, a crop drone, a medical drone. You can fly all types of drones, but those drones have automated onboard systems that are there to do a specific function, which makes it a drone. It's there for a purpose. It has a purpose. DJI, aerial photography. It's an aerial drone. I'm not arguing that. But it is not an FPV quadcopter, which is what we fly.
For a morning excursion, you guys were flying quads, racing quadcopters, and so many people wanted to know how they could build one. And thankfully, we're very fortunate because your sponsor, Luminaire, was able to provide us with a kit, basically, to assemble a quadcopter. And I want to run through all of these components and basically teach you guys and learn myself how to build a quadcopter.
Yeah.
So what's the very first component we want to talk about?
Well, I guess we can start. I like to divide the build with like two sides of things. One of them being the actual quadcopter, which you can fly without any of the FPV gear. So this is the area where we have like the radio and the rest of the stuff. And then in here, we have the FPV side. If we have to start somewhere, I'll say, for example, the frame. The frame, this is the KWAD 250. Okay. And basically, that's where you're going to put everything on. You know, it's your airframe. It's made out of carbon fiber. It's pretty light and strong. And, you know, there's a lot of different sizes, a lot of different ways, sizes.
Arranged with configurations.
Yeah, configurations. And this one happened to be a 250 size.
That's 150 millimeters diagonal or lengthwise?
Diagonal.
Okay.
And but there's a lot of other ones. Like also, if you have a 3D printer already, you can actually get files from online. For example, a guy locally here called hovership.com, you can find it. He put the files online, and you can actually download the file and print your own starting version for trying.
It's on Thingiverse. It's like the most popular downloaded thing. People can print their own quadcopter frames.
So that's also great. This is more of a professional, harder, stronger kind of frame for racing and to be able to, you know, push the limits with this kind of a frame.
So what's important about a frame? If you're looking at the design, whether you buy one or download to print one, quadcopter, obviously there are 4 struts here. The distance between the main body and the struts, is that important?
Yeah, because depending on the distance that you have here, it's going to allow you to feed different size of propellers, for example.
Okay.
On this case, we want to keep it small, and this is what actually started this whole racing new thing, is the size, and it's so portable. And these ones use 5-inch propellers, so it fits 5-inch propellers.
The whole entire length of it?
Yeah, the entire length of it. So, you know, if that's a good starting point, and it's really agile because the propeller size is small and it let it spin really fast. But then there's upgrades that you can add to the frame in order, for example, to fit bigger propellers or more thrust, which I have over there. Maybe we can show it after.
Yeah,
if
you want to
see it.
belt. So in terms of materials too, this one's carbon fiber. It's really strong. You want the frame to be incredibly strong.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. The cool thing about this frame is it's a really simple design. It's like just a flat surface with where you put all your components, and then like another layer, right, where you just cover the top section of it, and then under is in a clever way. I think it's around here. We have a power distribution board, where you will solder the rest of the components, and all of that goes under here, hidden, so you don't have to put it inside, and that should take space, and it keeps the electronics cold with air. So that being said, this is the frame, one of the important part of the build. I think the next thing we can probably talk about is the motors, right?
So we have 4 motors here.
Yeah, this is some Lumineer motors.
So as we can see here, never was the term drone mentioned. Ever. Quadcopter, quadcopter, quadcopter. Now you have the grandfather discussing motors. Back in these days, we had 1806 and 2204s. The KV ranged anywhere from 18 to 2300 KV. Emax was the main supplier of motors. There was no other real motor manufacturer. I mean, you had T-Motor was out there and some other ones, but as far as 5-inch quads, Emax 2204, 2300 kV was the go-to motor. I'm not going to show y'all this whole video, but they're going to start to build a quad. So let's just skip ahead a little bit.
For example, something like this, you can run it without a problem, and this will have plenty of power, right? But if you're thinking, no, I mean, actually, this can actually carry a GoPro as well. But if you start putting more things like maybe bigger battery, a GoPro and stuff like that, you just have to maybe start reconsidering and thinking, maybe I need a bigger motor, maybe I need a little bit of motors or bigger battery, and you just have to balance it, basically. It's like a balancing game.
Awesome. Well, we have all the components we're using here listed in the description in a link below. And let's get started to building this. Let's build this, and then we'll come back and talk about what we've done.
Yep.
Quadcopter. Building a quadcopter.
Yep.
Connection.
So I skipped ahead.
All right. And then that was basically it for the power distribution board.
That's pretty easy for this setup. And then we added that extra one right here, just so we wanna, since we're starting with the FPV kit that is all together, then we didn't need to use this. But I left this on just in case you wanna upgrade to a different camera or a different setup. You can have that power on right there. Plug it in and you're set.
There are a couple different contact points we didn't use.
Yeah, there's another 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're upgrade potential.
Yeah.
Now, when you're looking at a battery to connect, you want to make sure the battery's going to have enough voltage capacity to power all of this stuff.
Yeah.
You have to do some math.
Yeah, you got to figure out the voltages and figure out on every part of the quad, every part of your electronics, you got to make sure that are compatible with the voltage that you're sending to them. Otherwise, you're going to need to add regulators. In this case, everything was really easy because the FPV gear is already set up and easy to connect.
Okay, so after the power distribution board, we connected that with some spacers, connected that to the main body of the frame, and then the control board.
Yeah.
So
the frame is super easy to build. It's almost like builds itself, like you said. And then the next thing we did, that's it. We did the NACE. The NACE comes without the pins soldered to it. So we soldered them in. There's a little mistake in there, but it works fine. So we soldered them in. And also, since we are using this, there's different ways of connecting the NACE to your radio, to your receiver. In this case, we're using PPM. PPM, what it does is sends all the channels through a simple like 3 cables, power and wind signal cable.
Oh,
so that
okay.
simplifies the rig a lot because you don't need to connect all the pins. You know,
Right.
you need your motor pins, which are the ones back here, the ones that we solder.
Motors.
And the rest, we just solder the cables straight into the nails.
Oh, and so
That's it. That's the only component besides the flight controller and the FPV gear that they added Immersion RC. We're flying 4 motors and a camera. Nothing drone about it. There's nothing Terminator about that. There's nothing automatic about that. It self-levels because it has a flight controller. But when people keep calling quadcopters drones, we're flying FPV drones. No, you're flying an FPV quadcopter or a quad. I just want to stress that point. You're flying quads. I'm not trying to brainwash anybody. I'm just showing y'all the history. And this gentleman right here, the grandfather of FPV, Sharpoo. He came on the Adam Savage channel and shared this knowledge years ago. You see these antennas? Those are 1.3 antennas. 5.8 antenna. 2.4 gigahertz antenna. Video for the pilot. RC link for the control of the 4 motors. That's it. Nothing drone about this. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
If you hit anything, for example, the ground, you know, it won't hit the camera, like
now
you say.
we've talked about the receiver here, the FPV camera, and of course the FPV camera has its own transmitter.
Yeah.
Up on top here, we didn't talk about earlier was frequencies.
Yeah.
So what are you controlling this on?
So this one is a really simple setup that it works really nicely, and this use the frequency we're using here is 5.8,
Okay.
and it's the most used, I think, in minis because it's really simple and it doesn't have problems with the radio frequency because you always have to make sure that everything is compatible.
Right.
In this case, we're using 2.4 for control.
For the radio.
So we want to be far away from that. So this is 5.8. It's far away and it won't create any issues. And then the way we set up the transmitter is on the frame, we just, again, double side tape, some zip ties in here. And the way I like to do it is not ideal because antenna gets, you lose a little bit of signal in the battery being right under. But this way, from all the testing that I've done, is the way that keeps it together when crashes happen. So if it bends and it doesn't have any...
Because you're elevating that high. If you want
Yeah.
to fly underneath something.
It hits, and
Right.
you want it to be kind of like flexible a little bit, and I like this way, just with zip ties here and here, and if it hits anything, it will just bend back, and it won't damage the connection to the transmitter.
And that's why you have the transmitter right there.
Yeah,
And
inside.
you also told me that you don't want the transmitter, you don't want to power it on without the antenna.
Oh yeah, that's a big no, because as a powerful transmitter, so if the antenna is not connected, the power won't go nowhere, so it will go
Right.
back in and just
And that will burn the board
mess
out.
it up. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So where does the power from the FPV camera come from?
Well, all the power here is coming from the same battery in a setup like this. And bigger rigs, people divide it and have another battery specifically for the FPV gear. The thing is, you want to keep the power clean. So when you are the best way, you have 2 batteries because one battery will feed the FPV, so that'll be completely clean. On a setup like this so small, we're sharing the power with only one battery. The cool thing about this little setup that we use, the kit, the FPV kit, is that it also comes with a connector to power it and filters the power and regulates the power. So you don't have to do a lot. You just basically would use power to the quad there, and then you use the balance plug onto this really small adapter here. That will be clean power to the video, and it'll be clean image.
Wow. Okay. And so this.
All right, so that's a brief little lesson from the grandfather. 4 motors, FPV. That's it. That's it. No automation, no Terminator, no Skynet, no AI. Humans fly these. Humans fly FPV. Humans fly quadcopters. Alright, y'all, this is Flight Test. Another channel I used to watch when I first started flying quadcopters. Here in the bottom right of the screen, there's a KK2 board, motors, FPV camera, transmitter. That's it. Quadcopters. I'm going to skip through this video, but I'm going to show y'all some certain parts so y'all will understand the history of where y'all come from.
Hey, welcome to Flight Test. I'm Josh, and this is Alex.
Hey guys.
And we got the great opportunity to go to Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Yes.
And
we were camping in the woods.
There's a stone mountain there.
It's huge.
It's humongous. I was there when I was a young kid, and I told Alex and David about it, and it was our last opportunity to take a road trip with David. So we wanted to hoop it up and have some fun on our way to Steph, and we decided to do a Let's Fly.
Quadcopters, pilots, humans, quadcopters, nothing drone about it. Radio that controls the quadcopter, nothing drone here. That shot is not taken by a DJI drone, because DJI drones didn't exist. The only thing DJI had was a flight controller, and they had a flame wheel that was an octocopter, and then they had a quadcopter that they sold, 450s.
I'm gonna go up. See the top of this rock here? You can tell there's wind even like pushing against it. Okay, not the top.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
You're out of sight. Are you?
We're right down there. Is my signal back?
Now, pause it here. Mr. Winstall, when we first got into FPV, these were your goggles. Fat Shark, you had your 5.8 antenna. This gentleman here built tricopters. He's the grandfather of tricopters in this hobby. If you ever get into tricopters, look up David.
Okay. So we're down there.
And also, these are times when we were flying free, having fun, no government involved, DJI wasn't involved, no laws, no bullshit, just guys doing the thing that people have done since the 1940s, flying RC. That's all it's about. No drones, just RC.
There was one sad thing. We couldn't all cohabitate because David's frequency and our frequencies didn't get along.
Yeah.
We had to change some receiver settings, and we didn't have time to do that. So we set up David first, and you can't see it, but with the gimbal being all nice and steady, it looked like it was very, very calm.
He's like, why can't I move? He's like, I'm jamming on the sticks and it just won't move. He's like, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
And turns out it was just so windy.
It was incredibly windy.
And he was flying through the gimbal, so the copter was like trying to go through this wind, but the gimbal was keeping it level.
Yes.
David thought it was still calm. We couldn't tell.
Yeah, David was the only person that got to go from the bottom to the very top and experience the wind. But you and I had some fun chasing each other around.
We did a little fun. It didn't last too long, but
No.
it was definitely fun.
Keyword, fun. No drama, no bullshit, fun, F-U-N. That's how it was when we first started flying FPV. Purely about the fun. No fancy tricks, no who's better pilot than the next guy. It was just people having fun. And y'all have missed that. the new generation of pilots that fly DJI, the digital line of stuff, I understand y'all were born when digital TVs were already out. You have to understand that the older generation, like the people you're seeing on this video right now, when we were born, we still had analog TV, cable TV. We were used to bad pictures. We were used to watching Bob Barker wave back and forth across the screen, but we knew what was going on. But we knew what we had, and this is what we had 12, 13 years ago. Now we're going to hear from the grandfather of quadcopter school.
How to tell if your flight controller is on straight. In other words, if it is truly facing forward on your quad frame or if it's a little bit off.
What did Joshua Bardwell just say? Quadcopter. Did not say drone.
Take your quad and prop the front motors against a level surface like this table. And what you're going to do is you're going to tilt it forward like so. While we do that, we're going to watch here the roll and pitch indicators. You want to start at 0, 0, so now the quad is level. And as I...
Once again, back in the day, we built our own quadcopter. Never once did we say, hey man, I'm gonna go build a drone. Hey man, I got some drone parts coming from Hobby King. Hey dude, I got some drone parts coming from China. I got some drone parts coming from Banggood. You never heard any of that stuff. Y'all have been programmed by the federal government, by the media. Y'all have been demonized by the media. I'm here trying to break that mold and educate y'all on what y'all are doing. Don't give in to the bullshit. We fly quadcopters. When somebody comes up to you and you're out flying, educate them. Tell them, show them what you have. Educate them. Every chance I get when I'm in public and somebody approaches me about what I'm doing and what I'm flying, I educate. Y'all can do the same thing that I'm doing right now. So I'm going to skip over this. But once again, that was the old Joshua Bardwell. This is the new one, about 6 years ago.
What? We're flying old quads, you punk!
I'm going to restart this for y'all. Bet y'all see that rotor ride on the screen. When rotor ride first got going, flying quadcopters, building quadcopters. That was rotor riot back in the day.
Here on Rotor Riot, you're used to seeing us fly the highest performance quadcopters that are available today. But today, we're doing something different. We're flying caveman quads. These are the quads we all started with. The old, what is this?
I brought my quad for the shoot today. What?
We're flying old quads, yeah.
What did Captain Vanover just say? Quadcopter. Quad. He didn't say drone. Quadcopters.
This is an old KK2 flight controller that has a built-in screen and built-in buttons. You don't plug it into a laptop, which sounds cool, but it's Okay, it's kind of cool. You can set everything up in the field just with the little twirly buttons, but it's also kind of super lame because, like, you have to use the twirly buttons for everything. This is the first time in my life I've been glad to have motor stop enabled because I can just, like, put it down. I don't have to flip the switch. See? That's what I'm talking about.
Let me see.
That's what I'm talking about.
Where did you come in on? What was your first?
That used to happen. You put your motors on, your props. We had to actually download software from who knows where to go in and program our ESCs. We had to learn to wire our electrical contacts from our motors to our ESC in a specific order to get the motor to turn a certain way. We didn't have software on computers like y'all have now to where y'all can just go in and click a button and reverse the motor. You actually had to resolder the motor connections. And that was the fastest way in most cases, other than going online trying to download some third-party software and do all that jazz. And then you had to buy special adapters to plug into the USB. Yeah, so things weren't easy back in these days.
Like quad flight controller.
It was the KK2 board.
You flew KK2s
No.
before. That's so funny.
How can you have been doing this that long?
Well, I've been flying RC since I was 10. I started with flight test. Literally watched the first F4F Wildcat episode.
Me too.
And then
See? Flight test. The guys we just saw, flight test. That's who Vanover, me, and a lot of others watched when we first got into the hobby. Flight test was one of the leading channels back in the day when it came to quadcopters and learning how to fly and build. This is a tricopter. Once again, David.
I flew the Batbones tricopter. Most people don't realize this. I was in it for a while.
You've been doing.
Never prevalent.
You started with the flight test tricopter. I started with the flight test Electro Hub on Multi-League.
Electro Hub was
You came into the hobby before me.
Yeah, I remember when I was getting into the hobby in summer of 2014.
That guy there, Ferrari, grandfather of racing. He's up there in Idaho. He's doing Chiron bikes and motos now, but he does crawlers, FPV. Great guy, great father there.
I was reading about the KK2 boards and I was like, oh, cool, it's got an LCD. But then I found all these other posts about, like, no, just get an Ace32, it's so much better. And it was like, that was like right on the cusp of when the KK2 was fading out and people were jumping in the Ace32, so I got lucky.
Oh, you came in at a really interesting time. Even though I started on mini quad, like I started on 250 size quadcopters essentially. I always thought we would eventually like.
All right. Madrib. Mixed feelings about the Drib. He just came on the scene. He was a great pilot, but you know, politics and business, he was more into the business side of things, so you don't see anything from him anymore. A lot of these guys you don't see any videos from anymore. With Vanover, this guy's skill, he's from DFW. He's straight money, so you don't gotta worry about him. Me myself, I got started with the CC3D flight controller. Used to come in a yellow case, and it was PWM. And I had my first quadcopter was a Scout X4, and it had a radio that I used once I got into flying the 250 size quads. I just kept that radio and those receivers until later on, and then I got into free FR Sky. I'm going to show a little bit more of this.
Go bigger, like there was this end screen that Windestall used to use on his YouTube channel, and it's him standing at the top of a hill and there's this sunset and he's holding the tricopter over his shoulder. I'm like, oh, that guy is so badass. I want to be holding that big drone, and we just nope. This is we still fly these little.
Well, we have
little
X-Class
boys.
now, to be fair.
Yeah, but why? You know, like, this is going to get better video than X-Class. Like, for what I want to do, there's no reason to fly a big drone.
I gotta tell you guys, these are bringing back so many feels for me. This literally was my first quadcopter. Not a KK2, but this frame, and just look at like how it's constructed, and you can like see all the parts and how they go together.
This
I have
is
my
the one
Xiaomi
thing.
Yi.
This is not period correct. that we have a 3D printed GoPro Hero 7 mount. That's
Fox Zero Lollipop.
yeah. We talked about using, because you actually have some of the like OG big immersion video transmitters, but those were finicky. Older video transmitters were finicky. I was like, we don't want to waste the episode just being like, we can.
All right, we're gonna skip on.
Work. You have to take all the zip ties and all the motors off. It was legit a step in the right direction,
Hold
but
on.
it's so
Let me
different from
jump
that they would
back.
break anytime you crash them, and the goal.
Yeah, this is a good area.
Where are you going?
That thing flies better than I would have thought.
I had no FPV friends, so like I literally flew solo every time I flew, and it sucked. It is so much more fun flying with friends.
What's the damage?
Got a broken arm.
What we do today is we build quads out of carbon fiber. They're small quads, and we build them to crash the crap out of them, and they don't.
See? So 5 years ago, Mr. Bardwell, quads. So once again, we don't fly FPV drones, we fly FPV quads.
break. Back in the day, we assumed that they would break anytime you crashed them, and the goal was to make them as repairable as possible. So these are like 3/4 inch poplar wood booms that you can buy at the hardware store. And this was a brilliant freaking idea that you could just put a new arm on. But look how much work. You have to take all the zip ties and all the motors off. It was legit a step in the right direction, but it's so different from how we think about quads now. I wasn't even going that fast. Oh, this one's going to be more of a hassle to fix.
It really doesn't take that much longer to fix an arm on one of these quads as it does on a regular quad, if you have the right tools.
You mean like a power drill?
Yeah, like a drill.
And wood dowels?
Yeah, well, I brought those. I have them already pre-cut to the right length.
And bullet connectors?
When you go to the field with your regular quad, do you not bring a specialized carbon fiber arm replacement to replace a broken arm?
No, because the Skyliner arm never breaks, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so y'all got the gist of that. Let me show y'all a few more clips, and I'll wrap it up, you know what I'm saying? All right. Grandfather freestyle, in my opinion. We fly quadcopters. We can do things with a quadcopter that the average drone pilot in this context of the hobby and just everyday living that the average drone pilot cannot do. If you buy a DJI off the shelf or a pre-made photography drone, anything besides a quadcopter off the shelf, and expect to fly it the way we do as FPV pilots, you're in for big disappointment. Mr. Steele, y'all.
Okay, alien maiden.
Fly at line of sight first. And then my goggles.
Alien, not drone. Tuning a quadcopter, not a drone. Has a little bit of steel at his house. Game of quad, y'all. Not game of drone, game of quad.
You're a tiger. You're a platypus. You're a kangaroo. You're a baby kangaroo. You're a wallaby.
That's just like a baby kangaroo.
You have to back in because if you back in, it looks less conspicuous. And it actually says they want you to face the guard tower. Just back in.
Is it a golf course?
I don't know what it is. Just back in. There's a game called Horse they actually do in basketball where you stand at a certain position, throw the ball like that. Then if you make it, then the next person has to do it from that exact spot in that exact same way. And if they don't, they get a letter. And if they spell horse, then they're out. In this case, we're going to do quad. So QAD.
So there's less letters involved in that though.
Yes, there's less
less
letters.
of a chance.
There's less letters because it's very scraggly. We got a bunch of people playing, and honestly, I don't know how many tricks you can do.
There's only so many quads we've got.
I see you over there.
Quads. How many quads we got?
Don't let it drop, okay? It's a new Vortex Pro.
Now that's not a drone on Tommy's head. That's a quadcopter, folks.
That's gotta be Tommy.
Look at that. Then you have to look at me. Hey! We're gonna start. Let's go!
1, 2, 3, show. Oh, okay, I'll do the same.
So y'all see this. Look at everybody's face. Smile. Tommy. Final glide. Smile. Steel. That's what we need in FPV today. We don't care how good DJI video is. We don't care how good HD0 video is. We don't care how good analog video is. If you have video and you can see, you can fly. And if you can fly, you're gonna be smiling like these guys. You're gonna be having fun. So stop letting people put y'all in a box, a mental box. Stop letting people say you can't fly your drone. Educate them. Say, yeah, I'm gonna fly my quadcopter. Educate yourself, folks.
1, 2, 3, go.
Whoa!
Oh, Big Phil's going first.
So 1, 2, and remember your number. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm
5.
so gonna steal some of your tricks.
Oh, he's going for it.
Okay, I'm doing like a double roll through the V.
Double roll through the
Does that mean someone gets a letter? No, that means you get to set the trick now, Chad. You are after him.
Okay, man.
Okay.
Just go through the V. How about that?
Okay, something really simple. Here you go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I can't even count that.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Alright.
It doesn't get much more simple than that.
Tommy, you're up.
Yay.
Yeah?
Yeah, four.
Yeah. Tommy didn't even know. Is that 4?
Yep,
Yeah.
come on in.
He did it!
I'm up.
Hey, y'all. This here's Stinger Swarm. He's from Tennessee. He likes to swarm stingers and just throw them at people, and I don't even know what else he likes to do, but I know him as Stinger Swarm, and his name's Kevin, too. He's right there. He's got a Mustang. He's got some Attitude V1s, I think, and some VAS, some kind of antenna or what you would call it on there.
And we're off.
Fun, folks. They're having fun. Yeah, it's for video. It's for views, but they're having fun, dude.
Taking up.
And you're gonna let people say you can't fly? Come on.
Well, right there we got one of them there Germans. He's from Germany, so if you know who he is, you can find him. And then if you don't know who he is, you go to his house, and he's got a girlfriend that's pretty cute, I'm not gonna lie. I've been over there a couple times. Well, that boy done take one of them quadcopters one time. He done flied it through a hole so small, I don't even think a pin needle could fit through that thing. But he done did it with a 7-inch prop squad right there. I done seen it. Singer Swarm showed me on the interwebs.
Hey, Bill. Yeah, no pressure.
You made it!
Did you get it?
Yeah, he did.
I think we're gonna don't want to pass.
Wait, if everybody is able to do it, don't you get a letter?
No.
I don't believe I heard any part of the rules in there.
It's knife edge and a loop.
Knife edge 360.
So he popped in sideways in a backflip. And then, okay. Who's up next? So the game is now called, it's still called Quad, I think. It's still called Quad. However,
But it's spelled Q-U-D.
no. It's not Quad. No. So it's spelled Q-W, no, just kidding. Q-U-A-D, K-W-A-D, Quad.